This is video number 25. It's all about what it feels like to have cancer, at least in my case. So I have terminal cancer, which means it can't be cured. It means it's very likely to be the end of my life relatively soon. My cancer has spread to various parts of my body, that's why it's terminal. And despite that, I'm symptom free, really. All the physical effects I'm having come from the treatment, particularly the chemotherapy and the molecular targeting agent. And also other physical effects are from the surgery I've had. Those are obviously going to be permanent. How it feels like is, well, emotionally it's terrifying, and it often makes me feel kind of mentally paralysed because I don't know what the best thing I should be doing with my time. Should I be looking for different treatment options? Should I be spending the time with the kids? Should I be preparing for when I'm no longer around? Setting up things, writing letters for the children to have in the future, making these kind of recordings. Often I just don't know what to do. And you know, when I'm with the kids, should I be playing with them or trying to teach them things that are going to be useful for when I'm no longer around? So that's the kind of mental side of it for me, really. It's very frightening, but all I can do is keep going. The physical side, the worst thing, I guess, is never feeling myself, and knowing I'm never going to feel myself again, regardless of how short or long the time is I've got left. In general, people live, I think, from this position, sort of 4 to 6 months, really. Hopefully some of my treatments will extend the life a bit, but whatever time I've got left, I don't feel comfortable because, well, I never feel comfortable, I never feel myself, because I had major bowel surgery and I had ended up with a colostomy bag, and also I've got a port, which is like a lump has been put in my body here with a pipe going down towards my heart, and that's sore all the time, really, and it means I can't, move my arm so freely because there's this big bit of tubing in my body. So those two things really remind me all the time. If it wasn't for those two things, if my colon surgery had been, if they'd been able to reconnect the colon, and if I didn't have this port, I could have, I could be completely normal, at least for the remaining days. So that's a strange thing. After having chemo, after having chemotherapy, I feel very, very exhausted for quite a few days. Also, since I found out I had cancer at the beginning of July, which is now almost 3 months ago, I haven't really had a full night's sleep since that time. My sleep gets interrupted a lot during night time. So that's really, really tough, just being sleepy all the time, but also got the exhaustion of the fatigue. I am having 3 types of treatment, as I've said in many of the videos. I'm having chemotherapy, well, technically I'm having 4 types of treatment. I'm having chemotherapy, which unfortunately damages your whole body. I'm having molecular targeted therapy, a molecular targeting agent, which does have the ability to target just the cancer, but unfortunately the side effect of that is a really brutal skin rash, which is going to kick in a couple of days, and may even be so bad I have to quit. And even when you quit that agent, the skin rash takes 2.5, or at least it took me 2.5 weeks to clear up, almost 3 weeks. I'm also having immunotherapy and hypothermia therapy. Immunotherapy and hypothermia therapy are side effect free, they're fantastic. If they work, the chance of them working are not well. I think hypothermia treatment, although it makes much less of a difference, I think it has a very good chance of working because it uses heat to attack the cancer cells. It also uses heat to make the chemotherapy more effective. The immunotherapy, seems to work amazingly well for some people and not work at all for most people. I'm having two types. One is to use my cells to attack the cancer cells, but they get used up. The other type is to teach my immune system to target the cancer cells. Immunotherapy and hypothermia therapy are not paid for by my Japanese national health insurance. So if you can make a contribution at www.matthewdons.org, that's Matthew with two T's, so MATTHEW, Dons is Delta, Oscar, November, Sierra.org. That would make a huge difference because it helps pay for the treatment and give me some other options. Thank you for listening.